Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, guys, to another deck profile. A late one, as I had done my locals a couple of weeks prior to this, but I have another one coming up the very next day that this video will have been done, which I'll be using my Tempire Dragons again, which I'm very excited to use, especially now that there's been a few more upgrades and supports done to the deck, and I will be doing a deck profile after that, as well as some other deck profiles that I have got once I finish rebuilding what I have created. So without further ado, welcome to my Umi Control Fish Engine deck. Very much a non-meta deck, more of a, I like to call a cheese deck, because with this guy here, he's certainly one person who is going to be really cheesing off the other opponents, because in an essential way, he's just a guy who stops the opponent from playing the game, which we'll go to in a minute. And of course, I have my shark engine with a few sharks involved in there in the deck itself. So no side deck as well. Just these ones will do for now. But going off a little bit backstory, I played my locals the other day, about a couple of weeks ago now, and I had a record of 2 draws, 1 win, 1 loss, which technically is actually 2 draws, 1 loss, because the win I got was actually a bye. So because I did that badly, and I really love this deck, but certainly proves when it comes to competitive manners, I didn't have a chance in hell. So I will go over the battles that the duels that I had. The first match I had was with Yugioh, a great player who has played in regionals too. Absolutely destroyed me. He went out for 2-0 in my first duel. Then I had a bye, and then I played the third duel, which is against my good friend Tim Buxton TCG. Give him a shout out. He's an incredible duelist and a good friend of mine. And for the first time, we actually played our first duel together under tournament rules. He was using Gate Guardian, one of his brand new decks, and I was using this, of course. We played each other many times, and we both know each other's decks very well. And our first game lasted about 30 minutes, to be honest, and it didn't go any further than that. I stopped him; he couldn't do much. And I think I won the first one, and then he knocked down my life points in the second, and then it came to a time ending. So we got the draw, and then the other draw was against. It was against Albaz, actually. It was against Albaz. And again, we played it out first game. I won the first duel, and then he took me down some life points in the second game, and we went to a time ending. So it certainly proves what kind of deck this is, but without further ado, I'll go straight into the first bunch. And as you can tell, the first lot of monsters that we got is 3 copies of Ocean Lord Kairushin. And what he does is when Umi's on the field, he locks out basically any player from playing non-water monsters. So only his opponent can only control 1 non-water monster, and also has a search effect to search any sea stuff, trap, or a spell. Then we play 2 copies of Electric Jellyfish. And normally some people play 3, but I play a 2 with what other cards that I've got in here to make room for my fish engine. And with Electric Jellyfish, when you have Umi on the field, quick effect, you can negate a monster or a spell effect, and then increase the attack by 600 and its defense by 600. And then you can first effect is if you send 1 Umi from hand or deck or face up field, then you can special summon water monster from the hand. And then I play 1 Mega Fortress Whale. Great add-on to try and get the OTK, because during the main phase, during the opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and destroy it. And it's Other effective, if its Umi is on the field, you can activate this effect. Your water monsters can attack directly, which is quite handy to do when you are in the battle phase itself. And then when this water monster is destroyed by a battle or card effect, I can special summon one water warrior monster from deck or graveyard, which then goes into General Raiho. And General Raiho is probably one of the greatest cheeses of them all time. General Raiho, the Ice Barrier. When an effect resolves that was activated by a monster effect that opponent must have that was on the opponent's side, you must discard one card or the effect is negated. And it's obviously their choice whether they want to do that or not. So with Kairoush and Ocean Dragon Lord in there and General Raiho, obviously it makes a very hard case of making the effects work when it's on that kind of manner. So that is the main ones for the Umi control. And then I'll move on to the Fish Engine, in which I play 3 copies of Buzzsaw Shark, which allows me to target one water monster I control, special summon one monster from the deck in defense position, and with this has to be one fish monster with the same level as the monster but a different name, which is quite handy, but you can also choose a few other things in there in between. I play then 3 Abyss Shark, allows me to use it as an XYZ summon, which we'll go into in the extra deck as well. 1 Crystal Shark, 1 Dream Shark. And each of these sharks, apart from Buzzsaw, actually I think Buzzsaw is the case as well, is that they can be used for level 3, 4 or 5 XYZ summon. Dream Shark can be special summoned if you control a water monster. Crystal Shark use target one water monster you control at halve its attack and defense and the special summon itself. And then they can be used for either or, like a level 3, 4, 5, which helps goes into the XYZ plays. And of course, 1 Warrior of Atlantis to help search for the Legendary Ocean, and 2 Ash Blossom, which will be helpful, obviously, for the hand trap. So those are my monsters that I have used, and then I will go into my spells. And the spells are a mixture of both Omi and, obviously, Fish to help trying to recycle a couple of the monsters. Let's put that over there. First one is 3 copies, of course, of Legendary Ocean. All water monsters gain 200 attack and defense, and then they are lowered by, their level is lowered by 1 in the hand or field, which allows me to normal summon my Ocean or Kairoush. Then we play 3 copies of Fish Sonar, allows me to add a level 7 or lower water monster from deck to hand that mentions Umi or is a water normal monster. 2 Sea Stealth 2s, becomes Umi while it's on the field, which then obviously activates the effect of Ocean or Kairoush. And my opponent cannot target my water monsters with non-water monsters effects. And at the start of the battle phase, I can special summon 1 water monster that mentions Umi or is a normal water monster from hand or grave in defense position, but destroy at the end phase. So that's where my Whale Lord comes into play, because then I can bring that back on the opponent's phase, destroy one of his monsters, and then it's destroyed, and then General Raiho then can come back. If General Raiho is then destroyed in the graveyard, obviously with Whale Lord's effect, it can come back in the grave anyway. 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 Foolish Burial Goods, beg your pardon, to be used when I have on the traps, and you'll see why in a minute. 3 Pots of Prosperity, just in case, to get that add-on, easy add-on. And then we go on to the spells for the fishes. Target 1 level, 1 white mirror, 2 white mirrors, beg your pardon. Target 1 level 4 or lower fish monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then you can add 1 monster from your deck with the same original name as that special summon monster, which is where Buzz Shark then comes into play. And then White Fish Salvage, target 1 fish monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. If this card is in your position, it's destroyed by your opponent's effect and sent to the graveyard. Target 1 fish monster in your deck and add it to your hand or special summon, which is easy to play to add on to the summons of XYZ monsters when you play on. And I've just knocked this over now, so now my thing is just knackered. I've ruined it. Beg your pardon. Let me just fix this quickly. As you can tell, I am an amateur with this, and I have absolutely ruined this video now. So absolutely ridicule me for my terrible, terrible use of the camera. Hopefully that'll fix it a bit now. Sorry about that. As you can tell, I'm new to this, so continue to give me your support, and try not to ridicule me too much, but by all means do so if you have to. On to the traps. I play 1 full armored XYZ, If an XYZ monster is on the field, immediately after this effect resolve, XYZ must summon one XYZ monster going you control. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target one XYZ monster you control. Equip one other XYZ monster from your face-up field or graveyard to that monster as an equipped spell, and it has the following effects. The equipped monster gains attack equal to that card's attack. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. Which is obviously a good little add-on to obviously the other XYZs, to add on its increase of its attack and give it a little bit of protection. One goes in match to really force the player down to make it difficult for them to play alongside Kairyu and a few others. Then we play one Kairyu Dark Reef. I can send one face-up monster, one face-up Umi I control to the graveyard. Special summon up to 2 monsters with different names from the hand or deck. That mentions Umi or water monsters in defense position. You can play that at the end phase of your opponent's phase, and you straight away have got a Kairyu in, and probably either a, I don't know, electric jellyfish for a negate, or a whale lord to, I say whale lord, that's Pokemon, a whale. Fortress Whale they use as a destruction in playing, and you can just change it straight back into an attack position. Then I play 2 Sea Staff Attack. Allows me to banish one water monster on the field to protect my backline from any destructions. And at the start of the damage step, if the water monster has a legend level of 5, then the opponent's monster is destroyed. Obviously, the damage does not go through. 1 Ice Barrier, which is where the foolish burial goods come in, because if this ice barrier is sent to the banish, then I can send one water monster to one level 5 or higher water monster from the deck to grave, then add one water monster from the grave to your hand, and they use that as the next, can be used into the next turn as well. And obviously, if you have Ice Barrier in your hand, you can play that down as a set play to help your protection, because the attack, if an opponent declares an attack, your opponent's monster is 0, attack is turned to 0, and the effects are negated. Also, it cannot be changed battle position. Now, that effect is permanent, so it goes from 0, stays 0, and its effects are negated permanently. And then the last one is infinite impermanence. More hand traps just to give yourself a little bit more protection than you already do. So that is my main deck. And then I will move on to now my extra deck, which has a standard lot of 15. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? The camera stands in front of me, so that's why I'm knocking it all the time. So, first one I play, 1 Bahamut Shark. Detach one material to add 1 level 3 or lower water monster, XYZ water monster from your extra deck. And they cannot attack that turn, which then you add on to Totally Awesome for the effect, for the negate. 1 Abyss Dweller for the graveyard negate. Also the power boost and its attack and defense of 500. 1 Nightmare Shark, which is able to be special summoned from one of the other XYZs. 1 number 4 Stealth Kraken to turn all monsters on the field water. So it stops certain decks such as like Fire Kings, Tempais, turns it all water, can't do any of the effects otherwise. Stealth Kraken Spawn and the main phase can destroy 1 water monster your opponent controls, and obviously if you have Stealth Kraken you can do that. Number 4 Stealth Kraken add on to there. 1 Silent Honor Arc, XYZ Arm Fortress with the XYZ full armored XYZ, beg your pardon. 1 Nash Knight, 1 XC's Nash Knight, Silent Honor Arc, full armored Lancer, and full armored Dark Knight Lancer. And those are all the water monsters that I have in there as well. They could be used in this. And then the 2 non-water monsters, I have Zeus and Star Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis. So alongside all those, it makes it quite handy. It's a nice little variety. It did me okay. I mean, I wouldn't take it to locals again, but obviously it's a nice little deck to play. Quite cheap as well, so it's good for deck players, apart from obviously the occasional monsters that are a little bit more expensive than the others. which will be such as like Star Slayer Typhon. Zeus has gone down in price as well now, so that's quite handy. And a few other things as well. Maybe I'd say Abyss Dweller. It's been a little bit more, but about a couple of quid now. But my full armor Dark Knight Lancer, that was actually 20 quid, and that's actually a quarter century rare. My Dark Knight Lancer, I got that for 20 quid for a quarter century rare, which is obviously beautiful, absolutely beautiful card. I'll be looking to do that some more. So that is the Umi deck that I used for my locals. I'm going to locals the very next day. Obviously this will be coming out on Tuesday sometime next week, and by then I will be looking to make a upgraded Tenpai deck for that as well. But apart from that, nice little one for you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, giving you a few ideas. Apologies for the knocking of the camera. I'm terrible at this. But please consider giving me a follow and a like with my new handle on both my YouTube and my Twitch, Sons of Russell. I will be doing more of these deck profiles and a few more Master Duels and Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG in the future. Please consider giving me a follow and a like. I do appreciate all the support I've been given. And if you have watched any of the videos or any of the videos that I will be uploading onto my YouTube, please ignore the fact it says Gorilla Kong. That is no longer my handle. Sons of Russell is the one that I'll be going for now. But thank you very much for everyone that's tuned in for this video. And I will see you all next time for my Tenpai deck, the upgraded version of it. And I'll give you the lowdown for how I get on at the locals from then. Apart from that, stay safe. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.